Do you trust your crypto assets to centralized exchanges that actively sell your private information and front run your trades? Would you like to buy and sell your assets without any middlemen, intermediaries, or robots? Do you like paying slippage, fees, and having the price go up as bots steal from you on low liquidity decentralized exchanges? The solution is nodemarket.io. Set your guaranteed buy or sell price. No middlemen, no slippage, no bots, ever. Buy or sell 1, 10, or even 10 million tokens, and you never have to worry. OTC trades are between you and the seller or buyer, guaranteed by audited smart contracts and no human middlemen. Nodemarket.io.
Buongiorno.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay, I'll get the salutations out of the way, and you do you do the housekeeping. Do you want to? Do people know? Does everybody, the Twin token holders, know that they have them in their wallet?
Yeah, most people have added them already without issue. Obviously, I released a tech tip video yesterday. You can see those in the tech tip video section. Multiple people have already added the Twin token, but we're going to walk through that now. Right here at the top of your screen in your digital investor dashboard, you'll see multiple things. Right above the video player is the nTWIN token.
Now, Brandon, do they have to be behind the wall to see that? Do they have to be logged in, or can regular people see that as well?
No, regular people can see it too once they watch the video.
Okay.
But this is, dude, I'm gonna make stuff. We're gonna make stuff real exclusive for behind the wall people coming up here soon. It's gonna get real here this year.
Right.
Anyway,
but not the contract address.
Not the contract. It's public info, obviously. But let's see. You go ahead and you copy this address here. And then you can also go on Etherscan. Anyway, so I have it in the video here, but you can copy that address here. And then you just go to your MetaMask wallet. And I know everybody's probably done this super easily. Go to your MetaMask wallet. You go import token. It's right at the bottom here. I don't have a lot of tokens in this wallet anyway. So import token. You don't do search for it. That doesn't work. You have to go add a custom token. And then you can go ahead and paste that wallet address. And it just populates by itself. It says nTWIN token decimal. Don't mess with it. You can't mess with any of that. You could edit it actually, and you could do whatever you wanted with it. Don't mess with it. Anyway, go ahead and go next. I have 0 nTWIN in this wallet, so import it. And so now you'll see your Ethereum and you'll see your nTWIN. And if you have nTWIN tokens, they're going to show up there. Easy peasy.
Can you put the contract address in the chat? Can you throw that in there so that people could do it right now if they were jacking around?
Yeah, I mean, I put it all over the place. It's in Discord. It's in video. It's in the description. It's in the chat.
I didn't see it on Telegram.
Oh my gosh. Nobody uses Telegram anymore.
Except for the 600 people that use Telegram.
Except for the 4 people that get scammed on Telegram. All right, so here we go. Let's go.
Wait. Do you think there's more scams on Telegram than on Discord?
That's me.
Picking the mic back up that fell in a pile of Discord?
No.
More people get scammed on Discord. I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, maybe.
I think because in Discord, you don't expect to be scammed as much. And in Telegram, you expect to be scammed all the time. So there's less people getting scammed on Telegram because there's the expectation of scams on Telegram.
So it's because you're expecting it, even though there's more scams on Telegram. It's just people are
Here's what we should do. In the yellow bar, we should add the contract address so that people can knock that and a link to your video. What?
Gas is it? Okay. Anyway, so yeah. Okay. So we'll get that added. That's a good idea. Hold on. That might be added in a second.
Oh, snap.
Anyway, so let's go over here. So basically, Node Market, we're going to try to launch. We were going to have the gasless contract done today, but I think that's got pushed back because of one little thing that we're working on. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to launch the nTWIN token on the old contract. This is the old marketplace, so you guys can monkey around. I know a lot of people still want to buy nTWIN token And so like I still get emails. I want to add more. How can I add more? Whatever. Anyway, so we're gonna probably get it up there. You guys can list, but keep in mind, as soon as we get the new contract done, you're gonna have to go to your profile, and you're gonna have to go to your activity section, and any of your listings that are active or expired for the old nTWIN token, you're gonna have to just cancel those. So that's gonna have to be done, even if we launch this thing prematurely and put it on before we get the gasless contract done.
So the reason is we want to have a way to cancel all. We were trying to add one more feature. We thought it was kind of all ready, but the idea of being able to cancel all your orders at once, I think, is a good idea. And so that pushed the team back a few days. But you might have like 6 orders hanging out there and you want to cancel all. So when the new kind of site backend rolls out, you'll be able to do a cancel all, or you'll be able to do unique cancel, like cancel a single order, and all that kind of stuff will be very easy. But right now we didn't have both of those, and we thought, you know what, they probably want those, so we're going to put those.
Dude, it's actually a cool feature. Yeah, because for example, they have this on OpenSea where you can cancel everything all at once, like all of your NFT offers and stuff like that, or all of your NFT orders, cancel everything at once. It's all gasless now too, which is cool. But used to, you have to go one by one, and as you were canceling things, as things were like skyrocketing, a bunch of orders would get filled that you didn't want to get filled, and it kind of sucked. So now they've created this.
So this is like this is like your panic button to cancel all orders. Let's say they release, like in hypercycle terms, they release the 1155 token, and you're not paying attention when that happens, and all of a sudden the price goes from 60 cents to 95 cents. And you had a bunch of orders filled 50 cents below the price, you would be less excited versus if you could go, oh crap, click, all the old orders are canceled, you can put in new orders. So it's a tool that we would want to use. So we figured we'd need it to have it.
It's convenient. It's going to be nice. Guys, this contract, I showed you some screenshots up before, but this contract is going to be so cool for Node Market. And I don't think we've talked about yet, Nick. We told digital private clients this, and you maybe mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but the drop so NFT holders, if you guys are getting in, or if you guys ever want to get in, or whatever it is, who cares? But basically, the January drop right now is already 3 times bigger than the December drop, just because of the way the revenue worked and everything with the nTWIN launch and things. So we are pushing back the deadline to get in, just because we have been doing the nTWIN token. We're pushing back the deadline 1 week. So if you guys want to get one of the NFTs over here,
12th.
To the 12th, right? So if you guys want to get one of the NFTs over here, you guys still have a chance to get one of these NFTs. Get this, and I get basically share in the January launch. It's going to be pretty good. So we're excited about that. It equates to, I mean, if we're doing math, if we want to do some math here, if it ends up being like $25 or whatever for the drop per NFT, that ends up being annualized. If we annualize that return times 12, ends up being a 30% return for the month of January, which is pretty dang decent. Annualized.
Okay, a launch date on Twin. We don't have a launch date on Twin, and so there is some discussion over the way they're going to launch, because this is a utility token in that you're going to use the tokens to seed the vault that's going to hold all of your encrypted data, but also, like, keeping that sucker alive, you have to have, a certain amount of tokens in the vault. I think it's like 2,500, but they haven't quite settled on that number yet. But whatever the number is, I would in your mind think, okay, 2,500 tokens. Okay, great. Now, those tokens go in, they help pay for the cost, because your twin, again, it's not just an inanimate object. It's not a floating, spinning NFT. Even though we have a cool one, I mean, it doesn't have a brain. Your digital twin, your twin does have a brain, and it's slowly becoming your brain, and it's also backed by large language models and large multimodal models, and then whatever the coming months bring, especially like if the SingularityNet team gets their kind of neurosemantic learning engines online and things like that. So that's all behind the scenes. So your twin is all of your characteristics, your data, your information, plus the support of all these LLMs, and whatever they're going to call the semantic learning engines and all that kind of stuff. So all that's in the background, meaning it's constantly making calls and using AI compute. Probably be leveraging hypercycle to an extent on a couple of, but anyway, so that thing is an organism that's living. If you have a brain plugged into you either feed it or plug it in, right? Like it needs nutrients. The tokens are the nutrients. So for those of you that are getting the token to just flip it, you can do that, I guess. Listen, I'm not telling anybody how to be an adult, but I think the greater utility is getting it to fund your twin, because you build your twin, at least in my case, and like what Brandon and I are thinking, is get our twins built up and then put those suckers out there and monetize them so that they're earning money. Because once your twin is like sufficient, like in my example, Brandon, I have two. The way I'm going to do it is I'm building a twin that my clients that would use me all the time for like, hey, let me get an hour of your time. Let me get an hour of your time. Well, I charge $1,000 an hour. And one, that's expensive. I get it. I don't care how much money you have. That's expensive, even though it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. But if I could give someone access to my twin for say $100 a year, they might like that. And then if there's very specific questions that my twin could say, hey, let me send this to Nick to answer this specific question, right? If it's something that I haven't addressed yet. And then in that way, it starts fine tuning. But now I have something that I can send out to a lot of people, and that frees up my time. And that also frees up a lot of their money, because they can just go call up the freaking Nick twin whenever they have a portfolio question. And instead of like having to like schedule time and all that. So there's all sorts of ways you can imagine the things that you do really well. You could impart those into your twin and put that out there, like just to make money with it. That's just the way I'm thinking. There's a lot of uses for the twin, but my personal one is monetize that bad boy. I know, Brandon, you're going to build yours as a kind of a tech assistance bot for Node Market and Digital Investor.
Yeah, anything crypto, basically, like crypto technical, anything like that kind of stuff. And it's going to be dope. I mean, it's going to work. I wonder too if the team, you say you have to do like 20, let's just say 3,000 tokens to do like to get your twin, and so it's running, right? Basically, it's kind of the fuel to keep the thing working. Do you think they're going to add like ever bonus features where you have to include more tokens to make it like have this power or be able to do certain things?
I think they will, but only if it costs them money. Their whole idea
that's what I mean. Like, if it requires more computational power to do, let's say, see-through walls, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be like another 500 tokens you have to stake in your vault to add a see-through wall feature.
And that's one thing. Cool. Yeah, that's important to consider, is that the twin token is the utility token. It's not a cash grab token. Because I'm sure there's a whole equity plan for that company to bring on equity investors and all that. So I really look at this as like a utility. And I think that's the way other people should look at it. But anyway, we don't have a specific launch date. Now, there is the possibility that the twin token would trade at Node Market for say a month, 6 weeks. They say Q1 they want to do Q1. So I would say by March, but that's a big open space. They also want to do something where they roll out kind of a freemium-ish model where, for instance, you start building your twin, you get your twin ID, your unique ID, you start building it, and as you hit certain milestones, they will help you and say, okay, we'll give you these tokens, but you can only put them in the vault. They're not just for you to spam out and to go sell them. No. And so those go into the vault and they get locked up for say 12 months. And as long as you're interacting with your twin over a 12-month period, then you have access to those tokens if you wanted to wind down your twin. But my guess is by the end of a year, you'd have done so much and built that sucker up so much that you wouldn't want to just unplug him. It might be fun to talk to. I mean, I don't want to talk to the Brandon twin, but I might want to talk to the Nick twin all the time.
Oh, yeah, talk to your own. Dude, I might know things. You might have a good discussion one day. You just wake up and be like, hey, what's life like growing potatoes all day long every day?
James, all we know is Q1. That's all we know, but we don't know when. So for now, Node Market is it. The amount in the claim rewards is the accumulated amount, correct? Yes. Isn't that right, Brandon?
Yeah, that's right. And there was another question. Can we let those rewards accumulate? Yes, you can definitely let those go. So basically to claim, it's like $1, like let's just say gas is 30. I think it's like $1.60 per NFT. So if you want to wait 12 months, it's still only $1.60 per NFT, no matter how much you claim. So
Six Sigma, I like your name. I don't know if did you do it because of the discussion with like Charlie Munger and all them, where they said they've had Six Sigma events at Berkshire Hathaway. That's like super inside baseball for anybody that doesn't. Does anybody here know what I'm sure you do? Does anyone know what a Sigma event is with like in a fund? I'll be curious to see if anybody knows that. That's like deep in the weeds. Let's see. Do we have a date yet when we can start to use the box? So 2 things. 1, the box that you're currently seeing, that is an R&D box. The first boxes that went out, that's simply an R&D box. I already know that they have designs on a newer, more robust box. So I think what you're going to see is they're going to offer people to trade out old boxes for new boxes or whatever, because as they're starting compute internally and they're working with different companies, they're seeing things that I think they want the box to do that maybe the first box is not, as good as a new box might be. So they're going to be doing a lot of here, we'll swap you this for that kind of stuff. But I know that the discussion this morning on the executive call was a lot about how soon tilling rolls out, not only to the boxes, but to individuals where you can split your nodes, do all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty soon. I mean, they're testing internally like now. So again, they're going to keep this stuff internal until they're sure that it's safe to release into the wild. So, I mean, I think we're probably a week or weeks away, but pretty quick. I don't know a for sure date. Is it okay to connect on Node Market NFTs every 3 to 4 months? Yeah, you can collect whenever you want, Eric. The money doesn't ever go away. It's yours. It's your money.
yeah, it is. Okay, so well, that's possibly true. So that's that's funny. It is there. It's actually the NFT's money, right? So whoever owns the NFT at the time of claim. So if you happen to sell those NFTs, they basically come with those rewards if you didn't claim them. So before you sell them. So anyway, so yeah,
the NFT is the claim on the reward. So don't sell, don't like let it accumulate and then sell it.
Sell, yeah, exactly. Anyway,
I mean, you could. Maybe that's how you entice someone to buy it.
Hey, this is full rewards, boys and girls.
All right. In the Node Market, if you want to cancel all orders, is it done by checkbox? Yeah. Right now, you have to do each order. Here in a few days, it'll just be one button, poof, and it will cost you $0. Right now, you're unwinding an Ethereum smart contract, so there's an Ethereum fee. But you won't be doing that here pretty soon. By Monday or Tuesday, whenever they give us the green thumb up, then it'll just be click, done. Poof.
Boom.
Although done. we might institute like some small fee of like $1 or $2 to keep people from spamming orders. It's something that I think we should do that Brandon doesn't think we should do.
Well, then it's you have to do a gas transaction.
No, you could have a fee on there that goes.
Nope. Because it pulls the Ethereum out of their wallet. Anytime Ethereum leaves their wallet, it's a gas transaction. So then you pay a gas fee, and then you have to rewrite the contract. So it's gas fee.
We're gonna figure out something to prevent spam.
We've already done that. We've already fixed that. We've already fail-safed that.
Yeah, we haven't, but yeah, okay.
We have.
Yeah, but we haven't. But yeah, okay. Because if there's no cost, then there's nothing that prevents spam. That's problems that they've had on centralized exchanges for a while, which is we have to figure out how to prevent spoofing.
Okay, let's walk through what could be spoofed.
What do you mean? You could put all sorts of orders all over the place, cancel relist, and you.
I know, but if those listings get taken, then they get taken. Then the tokens are gone.
Right, but what you don't want is a bunch of people fighting over thousandths of a penny all day long.
Creates volume on node market. The
That's not
transactions go
volume.
through.
That's
Yeah,
not
it is.
volume.
Yeah, it is. If the hypercycle tokens get sold, they get sold.
Not
right?
if they don't get sold. Not if people are just moving orders around.
You can't do an order and fill an order without the tokens getting
I'm not
sold.
talking about filling it, dummy. I'm talking about listing. You don't want
So what if they
thousands
list?
and
I don't care if
thousands
they
of
list
orders.
1,000 times. Nothing's going to happen. Nothing happens.
I want you to think about this for an hour, Brandon, before you
I
answer.
want you to think about it for 2 hours because nothing can happen if they list orders and nothing gets filled.
Well, this is a difference between someone with technical experience and no fucking market experience and someone with market experience and technical experience. We'll just agree to disagree.
Fair enough.
But see, adults can agree to disagree. And it doesn't mean we hate each other. Okay. Let's see. I have lawyers that I pay $900 an hour. Yeah. God, dude, you know who's getting rich off this damn FTX thing is the lawyers.
Oh my gosh. That's the only one that's winning, dude. The lawyers, I heard the lawyer fees are going to, oh my gosh, they're astronomically more. Everybody's going to get pennies at the end of the day, and the lawyers are not going to get anything. Cents.
These lawyers, I think that they said that the average cost of a lawyer, if you imagine how many lawyers would be a part of the FTX, there must be like 110 lawyers on staff to justify the money they've spent.
Jeez.
And they're dirty, man. If you send them an email and they open the email, they book you for 15 minutes at whatever their ridiculous rate is. So if they answer 4 emails, there's an hour. There's, I don't know what the per hour bankruptcy lawyers fees are. Those dudes. Ugh. Oh, and to anybody who didn't hear, Ledger X did get purchased by another entity. I know we talked about that the other day, right? Ledger X is not owned. It's not part of the bankruptcy. As far as I understand, Skybridge is still part of the bankruptcy. That's Anthony Scaramucci's fund that sold like 30% of their fund to FTX for FCC tokens.
Yeah. For the FTT token? Oh no.
So stupid. So ridiculously stupid.
Have you talked to him about that, like on a personal level? Like, hey, Andrew, how you feeling, buddy? He's okay with it.
100 a year. You wouldn't have to. Yeah, that's right. You wouldn't have to be. Now I'm going to have my twin is going to be like, the first part of it's going to be like, this does not constitute financial advice. Past performance is not an indicator of future, like, Anyway. Yeah. Okay. With the token, can we start training our twin? As soon as they launch, a lot of the training that you're going to be able to do now, you're going to be able to do kind of in a closed, kind of early adopter environment. And I think that's going to be basically, you won't have to pay anything. But yes, your tokens, once you need, these tokens are going to be swappable. And the way we're going to do that, by the way, to make it easy for everyone, you're not going to have to go somewhere to do it. We'll basically buy them back on the exchange. You'll make an offer to sell your twin tokens 1 for 1, the nTWIN tokens for twin tokens, and we'll just take all those orders and scoop them all back up. Does that make sense? Because you're going to have the buy side of the order book. Can you make your twin look like George Clooney? Richard, do you look like George Clooney?
Maybe
no.
Richard does.
My twin will not talk to any other twins. My twin will only talk to humans. Well, listen, you know what? No. Hold on. For whatever I charge for my twin, anybody can talk to my twin. You do whatever you want. You can hook it up to a cat processor and have your cat talk to it. I saw a video where this lady had words, those buttons you push and it's like, that was easy. But then there's all these other words like yes, no, food, treat. She had all these things and the cat would like, bloop, treat. Like, I'm hungry, treat, or I love you, or whatever. The cat would like talk with the buttons, but I don't know if the cat was, because the cat was kind of looking up like that. But anyway, cats, man.
Cats.
What is it like to raise a turkey? Oh, okay, here we go.
What the heck? What? That's funny.
Let's see. Six Sigma event. typically mean an event that deviates 6 standard deviations from the mean. Yeah. So go, for those of you that want to really get in deep, go look up Charlie Munger's 6 Sigma events. And those, they basically said that their fund got slashed in half 6 times.
Oh.
In half.
Oh.
So when you think like, well, that's another thing, right? When you're looking at your portfolio and you're getting all depressed because the prices are down this minute and they're not up like they were last minute, and you're living and dying by volatility, you got to remember giant funds with hundreds of billions of dollars have got cut in half over and over and over. And those dudes we're still on the precipice of having $1 trillion in their fund. So you're going to get portfolio wrecked all the time, but as long as you're owning quality assets, doesn't really matter. Now, if you're owning crap, sometimes the crap never comes back. A lot of these meme coins, which is a whole thing, but a lot of them don't ever come back, like ever. They just go up, go down, done. And that's so it. These people that are gambling, like, oh, when do I get out? It's not when do you get out. You can't get out when you want to, because there's other things in play. It's not like a wallet to wallet. You're dealing with DEXs. You're dealing with weird kinds of like anemic liquidity. Do you see that like Logan Paul, he got sued because his little crypto zoo bullshit NFT project never got built. And so he's offering to buy back for like pennies on the dollar, all these NFTs and all this kind of crap. Because he's in court, like his lawyers are like, dude, just do whatever you can to stay out of jail. And on that deal, he doesn't know shit about crypto. He had 2 dudes kind of lure him into it.
Right. Yeah. Somebody basically coerced him into doing whatever he did.
I'm not a hater. Like he seems like a pretty, like kind of a fun dude. Like I'm not at all against him. You just got to be careful who you do business with, because there's lots of dudes that will just, and so they just jacked him. They just started, because the first thing they did is they like sucked away a lot of liquidity. Got up to like 100 and something million, something like a total market cap of this.
Oh,
and then,
yeah. Okay.
And then the pool got drained. It was a B&B project, I think. And then it got drained down to like 20 million. And that was the end of it. Done. Because they also issued a token against it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like all sorts of. I have my hypercycle tokens.
I remember this. Yeah.
In different wallets on both ETH and BNB. I have to move them to my MetaMask wallet with my node licenses I bought through PowerTrade. No, you don't have to. You can probably make sense, but you don't have to. You don't have to put them in the same wallet. I mean, I think for mental say yes, you probably should. But they can all be in the same wallet.
Just hypercycle in general. Nick's talked about this, but we can do a lot of things with hypercycle, but there's no point. I still get emails every day, like what do I need to do? When do I need to move? Why do I need to move today? Type of thing. But you don't need to do anything yet until we tell you to do something, and we'll do it post haste as soon as we know when we have like a place to put things, I guess.
Let's see. Are there any other, before we go behind the wall? There's a little bit of AI news, but I'll just go through it real quickly because it's not like we need to dive into it super deep. And there is one piece of crypto news. One, the GPT store that OpenAI was talking about is finally launching next week.
Yay.
So that's cool. You'll be able to, if you have built your own specialized GPT derivative, whatever, you'll be able to list that kind of, it's kind of like an app store, GPTs. You can, make a little bit of money. I guess that's cool. People like money, but that's more of a development thing. But they were trying to launch it back in November, and then the whole thing happened, the red wedding or whatever. And then OpenAI had hinted they were doing revenue share based on the community usage. And then there's going to be like a leaderboard that will be in the GPT's store, which will show like who's doing what, like what are the most used and most delightful things there. And then chats are not shared with the GPT builder. So that's kind of interesting. And then you have the option to keep the GPT private and internal to your company. So say you build something specific to your company and you want it for the other people of the company, but not for everyone else. You can just keep it private. So I think that's cool. I don't know if that is all that interesting to me. I mean, it seems like all AI is going to figure out all AI stuff and just do it. Like, it seems like if you came up with a cool GPT model, it would just go, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just do that. Make it a feature. I don't know. It seems like, like those things online that are like, if you're an inventor, send us your idea and we'll help you patent it. We'll tell you if it's a good idea or not. So those websites just get tons of ideas. They're like, your idea sucks. And then they just go do it. You're like, wait a minute, that was my idea. No, your idea sucked. Our idea is good. It's the same idea. Nope. So I don't know, man. Brandon, you going to submit anything to the GPT store?
Probably not. No, definitely. Are you? What are you going to submit?
I don't have anything to submit.
Okay, so nobody's submitting anything.
Google is launching the Premium Bard Advanced. So Premium Bard Advanced. They put Premium before it, Advanced in the end. PBA. So there's a bunch of new code and screenshots suggesting that Google's working on a paid version of Bard. Bard sucks, man. Like, Bard sucks. And I guess the advantaged here will leverage the not yet available Gemini model, Gemini Ultra. I don't know, man. Google's, I don't know, man. Yeah, and then I guess there's a way to use AI to redesign interiors on Midjourney. Seems like that'd be a GPT that would be valuable. Just to like take a picture, submit it, and then be able to redesign. But that's something like IKEA already has that. Like, they've had that on their crappy app for a while. I don't know, man. Yeah. It's cool though. I like the idea of it. And then there's a bunch of new AI research techniques that will restore faces and preserve identity. So it's like a diffusion prior model thing, which is cool. And this was from UCLA. They just introduced a new AI approach called dual pivot tuning, which leverages personal photos to customize image restoration models, making and preserving individual facial features. I guess that's cool. Yeah, so there you go. All right. That's about it. As far as, I mean, there's a lot of other AI news, but that's like every day. Everything's AI very fast. The crypto news that I thought was interesting, and then we'll go behind the wall, is let me bang over here so you can see it. It is ETF news. So as you know,
wait, is there an ETF coming?
BlackRock's purchase was pushed from the 3rd to the 5th. 5th is today, like, today. So we'll see if they go through with that, but they have to. They're going to take $10 million.
Probably already negotiated though. It's like OTC. It's just like, I bet the transaction.
But it would be the official seeding of that fund.
Yeah.
And Bitwise was like, cool, we're going to do 200 million.
Huh.
So that's kind of, and again, all this Bitcoin's already been purchased most likely, but that should start. Then you're going to see them competing on fee structure. I think all these companies. So the SEC had meetings for, this was just this was a rumor yesterday. It wasn't, everybody was saying insiders are saying that the SEC is meeting with major exchanges for imminent approval Bitcoin ETFs. SEC meetings, which is weird because Bitcoin's kind of quiet. You had the drop a few days ago, then the up. Yesterday it got to like 44.8 and then back down. Not back down to where it was, but attention is focused on the approval of Bitcoin ETFs. Yes, you get that. But there's been a bunch of meetings between SEC staff attorneys and representatives from NYSE, NASDAQ, SIBO, which I've been there, by the way, Chicago Board Options Exchange. It doesn't look anything like you'd think. It's just like some computers in a room. It's not all that exciting. Like all the cool they have like all this cool marble and all these big chambers and all this, but you don't do anything there. It's all electric. Like, you do nothing. You just walk around. What you do is go on a tour. Nothing actually happens there. Anyway, so the regulatory documents, which is the 19B4, these are submitted by the exchanges on behalf of the ETF issuers, and they are being reviewed and finalized. And these are the 19B4 is the fee structure stuff, right? So you had the original documents, the S documents that were filed, that is the structure of the ETF. This is the fee structure. And they have to receive SEC approval before the ETF can actually be publicly traded. So even if the SEC says, yes, you're good to go, the 19B4 has to also meet certain guidelines. And that's why usually, even if the approval was Monday, which is what my guess is probably Monday, should be the 8th, the 19B4s still have to go through, which shows, okay, yes, I have a, this is my fund, but this is the fee I'm going to charge to the public for them to be able to participate in this exchange traded fund. Yeah, so that's that. And then, well, the Matrix port idiots that are like,
But,
yes, it's all going to.
How can they say that when if they're working on the fee structure part of things, then the approval is a foregone conclusion, right? And Matrix Port still comes out and says, there's no way it's going to get approved or whatever it is, that
well, what's funny is that Jihan Wu, the piece of shit from Bitmain, by the way, he comes out and says, oh, no, we trust our firm. And everybody's like, yeah, it's just a little weird that. I wonder if there's no way to prove it, but I'm sure these guys traded against this. I'm sure this was a setup. Although on the other side of it, who listens to Matrix Port? It could just be random. It could just be that a bunch of people got leveraged long and they got beat up. And Matrix Port happened to release that. It could just be random. Although it's unlikely because Jihan Wu is a dirty piece of shit and he's definitely corrupt. So it just seems a little snarky to me. He's like, well, we don't influence the decisions of our, yeah, but you know what your team is going to publish. You own the company, dick. Like, he's like, we didn't have any idea. We're corruption. What corruption? We believe like Bitcoin for the win. Like, no, you believe in money for the win. I mean, I guess we all do believe in money for the win. Anyway, that's it. That's the Bitcoin news. I wouldn't expect anything today. I would expect Monday. Monday's my guess. What's your guess, Brandon?
Monday?
What say you?
Gosh. Okay, so a lot of people on the timeline were saying today, which could be, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen today. Monday, maybe. I still think Wednesday. I think they're going to push last day, Wednesday.
To the 10th, he'd just drop it on the desk on his way out, huh?
Yep. He's like, I'm out for the day. Call me in a month when everything's settled. I'm going to the Bahamas. That's what's going to happen. Wednesday.
You're going to the Bahamas Wednesday?
No, that's what Gensler's doing. He's going to the Bahamas. Yeah. That's what he's going to do. He's going to drop it on the desk. Call me in a month when I get back from the Bahamas.
Okay, and then final word, anything on the Epstein stuff? Are you following all that?
I know a lot that Donald Trump is trying, or Bill Clinton, sorry, Bill Clinton went in trying to defend him and something like that, right? Is that what's going on?
I don't know. I just saw that Stephen Hawking was on the list or something like that. Come on, man.
Oh, great.
Like, what was he doing?
Really?
Like rolling around in an electric wheelchair, blowing bubbles at prostitutes? Like, what? Come on, man. It makes me. Is anybody surprised if they heard that politicians are pedophiles? Does that even surprise anyone? Isn't that the assumption? They're just the lowest tier of utility on earth. They're just the lowest, garbagiest douchebags on the planet. Like, well, I don't know. I don't know that anybody is surprised by any of them at all. I mean, you want to see the lowest tier in humanity, go to the Republican National Convention and just spin in a 360. And if you don't vomit, you've got like cast iron stomach. That's it. All right. Far left is the same. There's no difference. They're equally garbagey. Okay. So let's go behind the wall. Now we're going to spend the rest of the time, and we are going to talk about 2024 token prices.
Yes. Let's do it.
All right. So hold on. Let me get my buttons. Let me get all my buttons right.
I'm still gonna make something for Valentine's Day because I think that's gonna be pretty awesome.
I know, but we can't. How long can you run that? We can only really run that for like 14 days, right?
Well, oh yeah, because you can't start in January, huh? Because that's just silly.
Yeah.
Oh man, so we need something like a 2024 tune. Dang it.
Well, anyway, we'll be back in a second.
Are you tired of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.